purpose of copy stage is something like, see, now your requirement is something like, okay, you are having one particular source. Let us say it is a, now I am using, for this example, I am using sequential file stage. Let us say your what is a source is an Oracle database, okay?
Okay.
Now if your source is Oracle database, okay, and now your requirement is to have multiple copies of the same data in such a way that, let us say, now here in this copy example I have got two outputs here, okay. I want one output to be having some different logic to be implemented on that particular first output, and I want to have some other logic to be implemented on the second output. Let us say that is the scenario.
Okay.
Okay. Generally speaking, in this scenario, how we should have done? Okay, we should have gone ahead with two different Oracle source stages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but if we use two different Oracle stages, what might be the problems that might come? If I use two different Oracle stages, if let us say that environment is very slow, okay, and while reading the data from Oracle database connection, that might get slow. Why? Because two connections are reading data from the same sources. Okay, in that scenario,
One Oracle.
hmm?
What happens if you use one Oracle stage in place of sequential file?
No, nothing would happen. What I am saying is, if I use Oracle stage here, okay, and if my end requirement is what we say, two outputs are required, that means same copies of same Oracle data is required, such that two new implementations will be used on this particular data. Let us say, okay, on this employee table, okay, employee table, e number, e name, and then Sal is there, okay. But now my manager has asked me like, Ram, read the employee table, okay, and get me two outputs out of it. What are the two outputs is something like, one output is something like, I need to join this employee table with the department table, okay, and get new columns as e number, comma, e name, comma, Sal, comma, department name. Let us say that is the values that he expects. Here one more column would be there like department number, so that join will happen there. Okay, based on department number we will join and we will get this extra name, extra column name as department name. And he also asked me like, Ram, you are getting me one particular output. I also wanted one more output. That output should be a join between the employee table and department one table. Let us say there is one more table called department one. There is one more, that department one is also having department number as one of the column. Okay, and instead of department name, there is some other new column. Let us say now my one more requirement is to get, okay, based on this particular join with D number, I need to get e number, e name, Sal, comma, new column. This is what I require. Two different outputs. Now what is the source here? Only one source, employee. Okay, in both the outputs, the employee is the source. Okay, generally speaking, how my design should be? My design should be something like two Oracle stages would be there, and two will be reading both, same employee table, right?
Yeah.
In that case, what would happen if two connections are reading the same employee table? Let us say your environment is a bit slow. Okay, your environment in the sense, you see, in real world how it happens, there would be three different types of environments: dev environment, test environment, and production environment. Okay.
Okay.
Let us say in test environment you are having such sort of design, and let us say test environment is very slow. Okay, why? Because maybe some of the hardware issues and all, your test environment is very much slower. Let us say in that way. Okay, in that scenario, if you are using two Oracle stages, two new connections should be happen to Oracle database, and each one should read data from the same employee table. Then imagine how much difficulty it would pose. Like the connection issues would come. Okay, already environment is slow, and you are reading same table twice. You are able to follow me, right? If I use a design like how the design would be something like for my requirement, you are able to follow me, right? Okay, one Oracle stage, both would be reading employee table only. Okay, both would be reading the same employee table, and as I told, the requirement is to have a join, right? This join operator with department table. Okay, and output you will be getting one output. Similarly, here also you should have one join operator with the table called department one. Okay, and you will be getting one output. This is what the design you would have, generally speaking. If you observe, both the Oracle stages are reading the same employee table, then why we need to have two different Oracle stages? Both will be working individually, and it would hit our performance. So what we will be doing, we will replace these two design with, okay, single employee table, single Oracle stage, okay, and we will route it to copy stage. Copy will generate, okay, copies of the data of its source. Now only one Oracle stage is there, one time only it will read, but copy will replicate the data. Okay, now here one join I would use, here also one join I would use. This one would work on department number 1. You are able to follow me, right? Deepthi? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can.
You understood, right?
Hello?
Yeah, Deepthi, you understood, right? How the design got changed. Earlier, it used to be two Oracle stages are required for two different requirements. Okay, but what it is happening, we are having problems with our environment, not only with the environment, but also reading data twice from the same employee table. It's not a good design. So what developers what the data stage designers from IBM thought, there should be a stage, okay, which replicates the data. Now there is only one source, but you are getting two outputs with the same data. In this link also same data would be there, and in this link also same data would be there. Okay, and these requirements can be implemented as usual on these two links. That is what the use of your, what we say, copy stage. Okay.
Okay.
Now, as per this example, I have used sequential file as the source. Okay. From this source, I am giving input to this copy, and if you observe, copy has created replica of the data. Okay. If you want, you can have as many links as you want. You are able to understand me, right? There is no restriction like it should have only two outputs. Okay. You can have as many outputs as required.
Okay.
This thing. What is happening? Before going to that one, now there is only one property in the copy stage. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If I use force equal to false, okay, that means what I am saying. Now let us say there is only one output link. Why it's not allowing to have multiple links? Actually, copy. Remember that copy doesn't have any restriction like it should have only one output link. We will be using as many links as possible. Why this thing is showing? Okay, what I will do.
Input and n number of outputs, right?
Yeah, one input and n number of output. But here, when I draw an output, it's showing some error. Some red color is being shown. 1 second, I will. Generally, it shouldn't show up in that way. Okay, because of the output link is not complete. So, okay, now there is only one property here. Force equal to false. What does mean? See, let us consider there is only one output. Okay, remove all these things. Okay, let us consider there is only one output here. Now, is there any use of having this copy here, as there is only one output here? Generally speaking, do we require copy stage in between if we have got only one output?
No.
No, that is true. Why? Because if there is only one output, and if you are not going to write any logic inside it, there is no need of having a copy operator. So by mistake, if a developer writes this sort of design, Datastage sees this and it thinks like, what is the purpose of having a copy here? Unnecessary. If it implements copy, one more operator came in between in the job design. So your job design is awkward, and it actually hits your performance because unnecessary operators are coming in between. Right? So what it does, even though you have placed the copy operator here, as you have got only one output, while generating the hash code, it skips this copy operator. You are able to follow me?
No.
What happens now, from your understanding itself, you are saying that there is no need of copy operator as there is only one. You can directly use this link here, right? No need to have copy operator in between. So Datastage also feels like in the same way, and it removes this copy operator. Even though in the design copy operator is there, while generating the compiled code, when you click on this compile button, right? Okay, and if you see the hash code, this copy operator will not be used. During the runtime and all, this copy operator will not be used by the data stage. Why? Because it unnecessarily hits the performance. There is no need of having this copy operator in between if you are having only one output. Okay. If you use if you use this property as force equal to false, that means we are saying to data stage that data stage, if I do any mistake like this sort of design, if I implement with only one output and if I put copy, okay, you can directly skip the copy during your runtime. That is what we are saying to data stage.
Okay, let's see with one output what type of error is coming.
No error will come. See, this property you cannot see it in your output and all. Okay, what would happen if you use force equal to false? What it would do, it will not use the copy operator during the runtime.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? If I use this one as true, what it does, we are saying to data stage that, boss, even though my design is awkward, you don't worry, my copy operator should be there. That is what I am saying to data stage if I use true. You are able to follow me?
No.
No, yeah. See, ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడ కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ ఉందా, దీంట్లోంచి ఒక అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుందా, ఒకటే ఒక అవుట్పుట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు there is no need of having కాపీ కదా. సో ఇలాంటప్పుడు ఏమంటుందంటే డేటా స్టేజ్, కాపీ వల్ల అవసరం ఏంటి, నాకు ఒకటే ఒక అవుట్పుట్ ఉంది కదా, డైరెక్ట్ గా దీన్నే అవుట్పుట్ కింద వాడేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, there is no need of having కాపీ కదా, దీన్నే పెట్టేసుకోవచ్చు కదా పీక్ లో, ఇంకా పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ కాపీ ఏం లేదు అక్కడ మనకి, ఎందుకంటే ఒకే అవుట్పుట్ కాబట్టి. ఓకే, అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తుందంటే డేటా స్టేజ్, ఇట్ లుక్స్ అట్ అవర్ డిజైన్. మనం ఒకవేళ కనుక డిజైన్ లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మన డిజైన్ ఇలా కనుక ఉందనుకో, డేటా స్టేజ్ అనలైజ్ చేసుకుంటుంది, ఎందుకు ఇతను పెట్టాడు ఇంకొక కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ మధ్యలో, డైరెక్ట్ లింకే కదా, అది డైరెక్ట్ అవుట్పుటే కదా, ఒక్క అవుట్పుటే ఉంది కదా, వాట్ ఈస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ కాపీ అని డేటా స్టేజ్ అనలైజ్ చేసుకుంటుంది. అనలైజ్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత తను ఏమనుకుంటుంది డేటా స్టేజ్, ఓకే ఇతను పెట్టేశాడు ఫైన్, కానీ రన్ చేసేటప్పుడు నేను కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ తీసేస్తాను, ఎందుకంటే అది ఉన్నందువల్ల ఇంకా పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ దెబ్బతింటుంది తప్ప మనకు ఉపయోగం లేదని చెప్పి మధ్యలో కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ తీసేస్తుంది రన్ బటన్ కొట్టినప్పుడు. అలా తీసేయాలంటే మనం పర్మిషన్ ఇవ్వాలి డేటా స్టేజ్, ఆ పర్మిషన్ ఇది. ఇఫ్ యూ యూస్ ఫోర్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఫాల్స్, వీఆర్ సేయింగ్ టు డేటా స్టేజ్ దట్ డేటా స్టేజ్ నువ్వే టేక్ కేర్ చేసుకో, ఈ ప్రాబ్లం ఏదైనా వస్తే ఒకవేళ నువ్వు రన్ టైమ్ లో ఒకవేళ నేను అట్లాంటి డిజైన్ ఉంచినా కూడా నువ్వే తీసేసి నాకు చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, డైరెక్ట్ గా నువ్వు ఆ కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ పట్టించుకోవద్దని చెప్తాం. ఫోర్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు ట్రూ పెట్టామంటే మనం డేటా స్టేజ్ ఏం చెప్తున్నాం అంటే, ఈవెన్ దో నా డిజైన్ అలా ఉన్నా నువ్వు మాత్రం కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ తీయద్దు, కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ ఉంచే రన్ చేయని చెప్తున్నట్లు. ఓకే, ఇది యాక్చువల్ గా ఫంక్షనాలిటీకి సంబంధించిన ప్రాపర్టీ కాదు, జస్ట్ పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ వైపు నుంచి మనకి ఒక్కటే ఒక ఆప్షన్ కాపీకి ఇచ్చారన్నట్టు. ఓకే, ఇది యాక్చువల్ గా ఫంక్షనాలిటీ, ఇది ఉన్నా లేకపోయినా మన ఫంక్షనాలిటీ మారదు, కాపీ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ మారదు. ఇది మీరు ట్రూ పెట్టినా ఫాల్స్ పెట్టినా అన్ని అవుట్పుట్ లింక్స్ మీ ఇష్టం వచ్చిన అవుట్పుట్ లింక్స్ ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు, ప్రతి లింక్ లోనూ కాపీ ఆఫ్ ద డేటా వస్తుంటుంది, సోర్స్ డేటా. తేడా ఎక్కడ వస్తుందంటే మనం ఫోర్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఫాల్స్ అని పెడితే డేటా స్టేజ్ తో మనం ఏం చెప్తున్నాం అంటే, పొరపాటు మన డిజైన్ కనుక సింగిల్ అవుట్పుట్ ఉంటే ఓకే కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ మధ్యలో తీసేయండి అని చెప్తున్నాం. ఫోర్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు ట్రూ పెడితే నా డిజైన్ ఒక్క అవుట్పుట్ లో ఉన్నా మీరు వరీ కావద్దు, యూ పుట్ మై కాపీ ఆపరేటర్ అండ్ రన్ ఇట్ అని చెప్తున్నట్లు. That is the only purpose of having that force. If somebody asks what is the purpose of force and it is not anywhere impacting our functionality of the copy, say them that copy stage, in that we are having, developers are given a flexibility whether to performance tune my job according to me or by the data stage. That option is being provided by copy stage. Okay na? Okay. I will just close it and open it once again. So for whatever classes I have told yesterday, have you compared with the big classes content?
Yeah.
Okay, what are all the things I have missed so far in the process?
Today, sorry?
Today, I mean up to processing stages. Please, after this class, at the end, I would be asking what else I have missed. Please let me know. Okay.
After this class, I will tell to you.
After this class, you just tell me.
Okay.
Okay. There is one concept called parameterization. Okay. What is meant by parameterization means, see, now I am going to give a hard-coded value here, right? I am always giving a hard-coded value. If you observe the first data set, the value that I gave, can it be changed during the runtime? Here. No. Why? Because I have given the hard-coded value, right? నేను డిజైన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇక్కడ అసలు ఏ డేటా సెట్ అని డిసైడ్ చేసేసా. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను రన్ చేసేటప్పుడు నాకు ఈ డేటా సెట్ ఇది వద్దు వేరేది కావాలనుకున్నాను అనుకోండి, ఐ కాంట్ సెట్ ఇట్, రైట్? ఇక్కడ సెట్ చేయలేదు. మళ్ళీ నేను మార్చానంటే మళ్ళీ కంపైల్ కొట్టాలి, అన్ని చేయాలి. సో అలా చేయడం నాకు ఇష్టం లేదు. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తానంటే జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ జాబ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ విండో అంటారు. ఇది ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇది క్లిక్ చేసిన వెంటనే మనకి ఈ పేజ్ వస్తుంది. ఈ పేజ్ లో మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ జాబ్ వర్జన్ నెంబర్ అని డిఫాల్ట్ గా 50.0.0 ఉంటుంది. ఇది స్టాండర్డ్స్. ఓకే, మీకు కావాలంటే జాబ్ వర్జన్ నెంబర్ మీరు మెయింటైన్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉన్నారు. అండ్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ విండో ఈ స్పెసిఫిక్ టు ద జాబ్ దట్ యు ఆర్ వర్కింగ్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ పర్టికులర్ జాబ్ వరకే ఉంటుంది. copy_example అనే జాబ్ వరకే ఈ సెట్టింగ్స్ వర్తిస్తాయి. దీంట్లో జనరల్ పేజ్ లో వీఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ జాబ్ వర్జన్ నెంబర్. If you want to change the job version number, you can change it. It doesn't have much impact. The only thing what it helps you is to identify which version of the job you are working on. ఇవాళ ఒక జాబ్ డిజైన్ చేశారు, రేపు ఏదైనా ఇంకొక చేంజ్ వచ్చింది, మోడిఫై చేశారు, హౌ టు ట్రాక్ దట్, విచ్ వర్జన్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ గాట్ దిస్ చేంజ్ అని ఎవరన్నా అడిగితే యూ విల్ బీ ఇన్ ఎ పొజిషన్ టు సే దట్ 50.0.1 ఈజ్ హ్యావ్ ద చేంజెస్ అకార్డింగ్ టు దిస్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ అని చెప్పడం కోసం ఇది మార్చుకుంటూ ఉండొచ్చు మీరు. అర్థమైందా? ఇప్పుడు ఒక రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వచ్చేసి మీరు జాబ్ డిజైన్ కంప్లీట్ చేసేసారు, రేపు మళ్ళీ ఇంకో రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వచ్చింది, దాని ప్రకారంగా ఉన్న జాబ్ మళ్ళీ మార్చాలనుకోండి, బిఫోర్ మాడిఫైయింగ్ ద జాబ్ ప్లీజ్ చేంజ్ యువర్ జాబ్ వర్జన్ నెంబర్ సో దట్ ఇఫ్ యువర్ మేనేజర్ ఆస్క్ యూ లైక్ దీప్తి yesterday one change came, right? In which job version you are having this change, which you will be in a position to say that 50.0.1 sir, I have got your change implemented. Okay, and coming to this before job subroutine, after job subroutine, if you observe in our data stage, what we say in our database stages, there is one property called before, open command and close command. You remember that?
Yes.
What is the purpose of having open command and close command?
Yeah.
What is the purpose?
Purpose means in open command it will execute before the in open command executes. One second.
No problem. Just take your time and give me a proper explanation with some small example. What sort of things we will do? Just with a small example.
Okay. Open command executes before the insert array is present. Whereas close command is executes after the insert array is present.
Just you modify your statement something like before command executes before the RTL stage operates, okay, and after command executes after the RTL stage executes. Okay, what sort of operations you can do using before is, for an example, let us consider before RTL stage starts reading. If I use this before command and after command in the source stage, when I use RTL at the source, okay, if I use before and after, before RTL starts reading something, I want to create a temp table in my target table or some anywhere. If I want to create a temp table, you can use open command. Before RTL stage starts reading, that create table will be executed. You are able to follow the right?
Yes.
In the open command, I would be giving a command called create a temp table. Create table temp. What it does, before your RTL stage starts reading, first open command gets executed and your temp table will be created. After then, what happens? Your RTL stage starts reading the data. Okay, and it completes the reading. Starts and completes reading the data. You are able to follow me, right? Once this is done, your close command would be executed. Close command might be, for an example, if we consider here whatever temp table we have created, we can delete it now. Delete temp. You are able to follow me, right? This is just to mention the order of execution. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Open command would be executed first. Then RTL stage core functionality like reading or writing will happen. And then again close command. Once this RTL stage completes its core operation, then again the close command will be executed. Let us say example is create table or delete table. Fine.
Okay.
Now coming to this, similarly, not only for the stage, even for the job level also, you can have this before and after operations can be done. In the stage level, in the job level, what are the things that you can do is here, if you observe before job subroutine and after job subroutine are there. See, if I click on before job subroutine, there are various already written routines are there. I will show you example of a parallel routine and server routine in the next class. Okay. Just remember that subroutine is something like in any of the programming languages there is a concept called routine. Routine means a repeated functionality can be written in a programming code and it can be used or called based on our what we say requirement. In C it is called as functions and procedures. You are able to understand, right? In C, if you remember, there is a concept called functions and procedures. Functions and procedures are something like in a C program, okay, in the C program, one second. Okay, in a C program, let us say, okay, first line of code has been written, second line of code has been written, here some add functionality came, okay. Once again, third line of code has come, fourth line of code has come, and again add functionality has been called. Add functionality has been called. Originally, how it would be something like here, okay, A plus B is equal to C would be there, okay. And here again, after 4, again here I need to write the complete code once again. A plus B is equal to C, okay. If again it happens to repeat like 5, 6, again add function comes, again I need to write A plus B equal to C. I just showing a small example of A plus B is equal to C. If it is a 1000 lines program, then it is waste of space, right? Waste of space and waste of execution. So instead we can write this function outside of the program. Okay, this particular program, a single program, I will write in the outside of this main program. Only one function I will write, add A plus B equal to C. Now what I will do, wherever I require this function, I will be just calling this particular program, just like this one. After first 2, I will be just calling this program. Just that's it. I won't write complete logic. Let us say inside this add also some 1000 lines of code is there. I don't want to write everything. I will just call the function add. That's it. You are able to understand what these functions and procedures are helpful, right? Okay, you are able to follow me what this function is going to do. Here, what is the benefit that I got? Here, actually speaking, this add functionality completely should be written here. But now what I am doing, all the complete functionality, I am able to write here inside this add functionality. Let us say there are 100 lines of code. Okay, this everything I will write only outside of my original program, and I will just make a call to this particular add program in my original program. I won't write the complete code that is showing here inside the add function. Okay.
Okay.
You are able to understand the importance of a procedure or function, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just a procedure or function can be written in such a way that it exists as an individual entity outside of your core program. Now you can use that entity to call it inside your main program. Just calling. I don't want to write all the code here. I will just call the original program written outside of my main program. I will just call it. I will not write this complete code shown here. Right?
Okay.
Similarly, there is a concept called routines in your data stage. Routines are something like individual objects, like table definitions, like these are like various things you are having subroutines also. Okay, subroutine is also like a program. Here, whatever you are doing in the add functionality, similarly for whatever requirement, you can write a routine and you can call that routine here. Here, if you use before subroutine, that means you are going to execute this subroutine before your job starts running. If you use after subroutine, once your job gets completely run, this after subroutine would be initiated. Now let us observe there are some particular routines being already shown. See, DS job report means before your job starts running, whatever job you have written, a report would be generated. See how the reports would be generated or something like, see. Generate report, there is an option, right?
Yes.
If I click on the generate report, if you observe, I would be getting a report for this particular job, okay, in some web browser. See, use default style sheet. If I click on the generate report for me, it is going to look into whatever design I have done and it generates a report for me. Report will be something like, it would give you a page where it describes all the stages that I have used and what are all the settings that I have given in all the stages. It would be showing up as a report in the report format. See, I will just be clicking on OK. Let us see how this report looks for this particular job. Okay, this particular report, now how I have initiated, I went to file and I clicked on generate report, right? This can also be called using a routine called as the DS generate report.
Okay.
You are able to follow me?
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I will let us wait for a second. It is going to create how the report will be looked, and then I will proceed. Now this report can be generated using our what we said, some routines that are being internally written. Instead of going to file, clicking and generate report, if you can just call a routine, it initiates this procedure and let's see, this is how your report got generated. See, name of this report is copy underscore example. See, this is the picture that I have drew in my designer. Okay. And then it is showing like table of contents. What are all the properties that I have said? What are all the source stages are there? Processing stages are there? Target stages are there? Listing is there. See, source stages, sequential file is the source stage. Processing stage is copy 0. Target stages are dataset 11, dataset 1 that I have created. Okay, it is showing you like what are all the settings that I have done. It gave you a proper report, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this report. Yeah, tell me.
Right. We can see this job report in every stage, right?
Every job, right? You mean to say?
Every job.
Yeah, for every job, you just open the job and you click on file and click on generate report. Generate report. Okay. If you do that, you will get that particular report generated. Now that particular report can also be generated by calling this subroutine. DS job report. If I use this particular thing, okay, what it does before my job run, this particular report also will be generated and it places in the repository. Similarly, there are other functions also like DS send mail. If you have your proxy mail ID being configured, okay, that thing cannot be configured. There should be some license for that. Now, like your Datastage will be able to send mails for you before the job run. If you want to get a mail to your mailbox saying that this job is going to be started, okay, by using this job routine, you can have that particular setting. You are able to understand, right? If I use this before job subroutine DS send mail, it sends me a mail before job starts running. But for sending this mail, yeah, tell me.
In case of opening file and generate report, we can directly open by using this one. You can directly generate a report, right?
Yeah, by using DS job report, what I am saying, before this job starts running, please create a report for me, and that report would be stored in your repository. You have to go to web console and go to the report section and view the reports that has been generated.
Okay.
Okay. And these are all the various execute job routine before job subroutines that are available. And after job subroutine also same will be there, but after job subroutine means once your job gets completely run, then only this subroutine will be initiated. Okay. Now what is the various settings that are there are, see, only run after job subroutine on successful job completion. Okay, from the name itself it is very much clear, like if I mention here any job subroutine, let us say I have mentioned here this thing has got enabled, what I'm going to say using this thing, I'm saying that boss, if my job runs successfully, then only run this after job subroutine. I can say that using this setting. If I just check mark this, I will be saying to Datastage that boss, if my job runs successfully, then only run this after job subroutine. If my job fails, don't run this after job subroutine. That is what I'm saying. And see, I told yesterday runtime column propagation. If it is enabled here, then only that thing will be enabled at the stage level. Okay. Now enable hashed file cache sharing. This is not applicable here. Why? Because we are not using any hashed files now. If any hashed files are there internally, that would be shared between the stages. That is what the meaning out of it. And this property is very important. Allow multiple instance. I will show you how to use this allow multiple instance. This is one of the important concept in real industry, in the industry. Why? Because there would be only one sequence, but data would be coming from 4 different countries, let us say. Okay, let us say okay, sequences I haven't completed, so I will just say with an example of, okay, there is only one job is there, let us say one job is there, and this job can be run for 3 different countries, let us say. Okay, 3 different countries data is coming. 3 different countries data is coming. Okay, 3 different countries data is coming, and 3 different countries data acts as source for this job. You are able to follow me, right?
Yes.
3 different countries data is going to come, and these 3 different countries data can be used as a source for this particular job. Now if I want to run 3 countries data, I need to develop 3 jobs, right? Same job,
Yes.
I need to have 3 jobs. Same job, I need to have 3 jobs. Why? Because 3 different countries data is coming, and at a time they want to run. Okay, so I can't use only one job to process 3 different countries data. Why? Because everything would be mixed up then. So I want each country to be processed by each job, right?
Yeah.
But if you observe, these 3 are same jobs. Okay, no change in settings, no change in anything. Both 3 are same. Then why we need to create 3 physical jobs? So what they have come up with a concept of instance. Instance means what it does. Physically only one job would be there, but instances of the job would run. Like however in the beginning of the theory sessions I told you like node concept and how multiple instances of the jobs run. Similarly, the job instances would be created with an invocation ID. Now, if you want to see which job is running for which particular country, you can see that with country code. Here, invocation ID can be a country code. Now, same job prepended with a country code can be used, okay, for running 3 different data. You are able to understand, right? Same job would be there. Physically, only one job would be there. But while runtime, instances of single job will, in 3 instances of the single job would be created. In the repository, physically, only one job would be there. But while runtime, it creates 3 different instances of the same job. You are able to follow my sentencing, right? My wording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Only one job would be there. If you open and view in the designer, okay, in the left hand side, you will see only one job. But during the runtime, only during the runtime, that single job would be converted into 3 different instances. Each instance will actually use data from each country. One country would be dedicated to one instance, second country would be dedicated to second instance, third country data would be dedicated to third instance. And each instance will process the data and they will output accordingly. Now scenario is something like you will ask which instance in the director you want to see which job is processing which country's data. So how can you identify? That is why we have got this concept of invocation ID. Now every job instance that is running, they would be appended with the country code. Let us say Georgia is one country name, okay, and America, US is one country, and coming to Europe, okay, or maybe some other states, okay, let us say Latin America, Europe, okay. This is how your job names will be shown up in the director, saying that you can identify if some error comes, okay, you will be in a position to identify which data, which sequence got failed, which job got failed. You are able to understand me, right? If you have got these codes appended at the end of the job name, then you will easily identify like from which data this error has come.
Okay, so if there is 3 different countries only, we are mentioning 3. If there are so many countries, means
that many number of instances will automatically be created if you use this option of allow multiple instances. Okay, and see if you observe this one, when I enable or disable, this thing is getting enabled or disabled. Now if I enable this one, okay, that means internally services also will be created multiple. If I use this enabled for information services, okay, internally various services are there, right? If you remember in the starting days, I told you there will be common services, metadata services, even those services also will be created multiple instances. Okay, and this is nothing but short description, and this is nothing but you can give some lengthy description. Coming to this particular, this now actually I want to show you parameters. Parameters are something like I told you while running. Okay, while designing the job, I don't want to hard code anything, let us say. So what I will do, I will give a, now what is my requirement? Data set location. This is what the name of my parameter. Okay, data set location. Type, it would be string. Okay, I would be giving the default value as something, okay, some a, okay. Now data set location prompt, while I will show you how it appears, okay. I have just created a parameter here, Okay, this is how I create a parameter. See, parameter name I have given as dataset location, prompt I have given, and then string, and then default value as a. I'm just clicking on OK. Now in this dataset, I want to use that particular dataset file path. I will be using, see, there are various options. Insert job parameter. This option, if I click, it shows me what are all the parameters that have been defined in the job level, that is in the job properties. Only one parameter is the dataset location. See,
Okay.
I am done.
Okay.
This is called parameter generation. What is the purpose means? During design time, we don't want to hard code anything. During runtime only, we need to pass all the parameters. That is what I wanted to see. Now, if I compile, no error would be thrown. But when I run, I need to give the exact path. One second, I unnecessarily ran now. Okay, I will just copy this thing. Okay, when I run this one, see, here it's shown up, this particular parameter which I have defined and which I have used in the stage, this is showing up here. And it is asking me, like, enter the value here. It's already given default value as A. If I run it, it would take the default value as A, and it is not a proper path, so it would fail. So what I'm going to do, I am going to give the value now. See, I haven't hard coded it in the job. During runtime, I am giving this value, right?
Yeah.
This is what is the concept of your parameterization. Once I click on run, two different files would be generated in your source, copy 1, copy 2, copy 2.
Okay.
You are able to understand parameters, right?
Yes.
There is a concept called parameter sets. What is parameter sets means? This is something new from 8.0.1 parameter set means. Now see, let us say I have written some 4 more parameters here. Okay, ODBC connection info. Okay, ODBC connection. Okay, default value some A. Okay, and I wanted to have some user ID, password. Okay, user ID. Okay, these are all the various things that I have mentioned now. Now, whatever I am mentioning here, these parameters, they are specific to only this job, right? These cannot be used in some other job.
Yes.
Okay, but I don't want to type. I know that these 3 parameters will be used in many more jobs. Okay, ఈ parameters మనం ఇంకా చాలా jobs లో వాడాలి. ఓకే, ప్రతి దగ్గరికి నేను వెళ్ళి ప్రతి జాబ్ ఓపెన్ చేసి దాని ప్రాపర్టీస్ లోకి వెళ్ళి టైప్ చేసి ఓపిక నాకు లేదు. సో వాట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ, parameter set is a new concept. I will just create add parameter set here. Okay, I will create the parameter set here. Okay, ram underscore new. Sorry, create parameter set. Once I click on this create parameter, okay. So this is how your window looks like. Create parameter set. I am giving the parameter set name as ram underscore new. Okay. If you see what are all the parameters that's there, whatever I have mentioned here, those things, just select those parameters and create parameter set. If I click, all those parameters are being shown here, right?
Yeah.
And the name of this parameter set is ram underscore new. I just clicked on it. Okay. It's asking me where to save. I am saying save it in table definitions path. Okay, ram underscore new, done. Now, what is the purpose of having a parameter set? Let us say, now I am done with this parameter creation. Now what I am going to do, I am going to delete all these 3. You are able to follow me, right? I just deleted it. Okay. Yeah. Now once again I am going back. Now I want to have the same parameters once again here, but I don't remember what are all the parameters that I have written earlier, and I have used all those parameters in different stages. What I can do, I can just go to add parameter set. See, they were saved. Like table definition, it got saved. I just click on ram underscore new. all those particular parameters are visible now. The only thing that I have to do is go here, insert job parameter. See, ram underscore new, that is the parameter set name. Here I am able to see data set location. Okay, the purpose of having parameter set is if you go to any other job, let us say difference job, go here. So why I have gone, I just double clicked on the stage, I should have gone to this job parameters. Okay, I just opened the difference underscore example job. In this I am just going to job properties. Okay, here if I want to have the same job properties, see, I can do add parameter set. Here also, yeah, I can just add the parameter set which I have created in some other job.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? ఈ parameter set actually మనం వేరే జాబ్ లో తయారు చేసుకున్నాం, కానీ ఈ జాబ్ లో కూడా వాడుకోగలుగుతున్నాం మనం.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to use the same parameter set across the jobs, you can use this particular concept of parameter set.
Okay.
దీని పర్పస్ ఏంటంటే మనం జాబ్ డిజైన్ అప్పుడు హార్డ్ కోడ్ చేయకుండా ఏ వాల్యూస్, ఓకే, అన్ని మనం జస్ట్ ప్లేస్ హోల్డర్స్ అంతే, మనం పారామీటర్స్ డిఫైన్ చేసుకుంటే రన్ టైమ్ లో ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు వాల్యూస్, మన ఇష్టం వచ్చిన వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చుకోవచ్చు డ్యూరింగ్ రన్ టైమ్.
Okay.
Okay, that is the purpose of having your parameter set. So this is how it works, and this is what your copy example. You are able to understand copy stage, right?
Yes.
Coming to funnel. Funnel is something like if you come across any of these keyword like called union in your SQL. I think you might have come across this concept of union, right? What does this union do? Okay, there is, let us say, one select statement is there, select star from EMP. Okay, union select star from EMP1. There are two tables, let us say, in the Oracle database, and you are having, okay, and all these employee table as well as employee one table, both are having same number of columns. Employee table లోను employee one table లోను సేమ్ కాలమ్ నేమ్స్ సేమ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అలాంటప్పుడు యూనియన్ ఆపరేటర్ కనుక వాడితే మనకి ఏమవుతుందంటే రెండు టేబుల్స్ లో ఉన్న డేటా కలిపి వస్తుంది బయటికి ప్రాపర్ గా. దట్ ఈస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ హ్యావింగ్ యూనియన్. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే మనం చిన్నప్పుడు, ఐ మీన్ టు సే, డ్యూరింగ్ అవర్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ డేస్ వైల్ ఇన్ మ్యాథ్స్ యూ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ యూనియన్. దే వుడ్ బి షోయింగ్ యాజ్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ వెన్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్, ఏ బి. Okay, union, if you use this particular operator of union, you will get a big circle having A and B, right?
Union.
Yeah, that union is being used here using this particular funnel operator. Funnel accepts n number of inputs and it will give you one output. Here I am using two different inputs, but at the end I would be having only one output. Okay, and remember that column names should be same, column data types should be same in order to happen this funnel operation. Okay, before that I will see what are all the inputs that are coming. Now in this column I am hitting employee ID, employee name, salary, integer, varchar, integer, right?
Okay.
One of the input is having employee ID, employee name, salary. I will see whether these column names are also same. Yeah, employee ID, employee name, salary, both are same. Now coming to the properties of the funnel, there are three different types of funnel operations: continuous funnel, okay, and sort funnel and sequence. Okay, continuous funnel means, okay, in the partition technique I told you a partition, keyless partition called random. What does it do?
Random?
Yeah. How random partition technique works? How random partition technique is going to split the data?
Means it will jumble, right?
మీరు తెలుగులో చెప్పండి ఒకసారి నాకు అది ప్రాపర్ గా.
యా, అంటే కంటిన్యూస్ గా తీసుకోకుండా వన్ బై వన్ అది, అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఒక దాంట్లో ఒకటి తీసుకుంటుంది, మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకో దాంట్లో ఎక్కడంటే అక్కడ తీసుకుంటుంది.
ఆ వర్డ్ ఎక్కడంటే అక్కడ. సో ర్యాండమ్ గా తీసేసుకుంటది, దాని ఇష్టం అది. మనం అసలు దాన్ని మనం ఎట్లా తీసుకుంటుంది అనేది మనం డిసైడ్ చేయలేం, ఎట్లా పడితే అట్లా తీసుకుంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ర్యాండమ్. సో హియర్ ద సేమ్ వే కంటిన్యూస్ ఫనల్ వర్క్స్. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు రెండు ఇన్పుట్స్ ఉన్నాయి మనకి కంటిన్యూస్ ఈ ఫనల్ కి, కానీ తన ఇష్టంగా ఒక రికార్డు దీంట్లోంచి నెక్స్ట్ రికార్డు రెండో ఇన్పుట్ లోంచి తీసుకొని ఉంటుంది, దాని ఇష్టంగా లాగేస్తుంది. ఒక పర్టికులర్ వే అనేది ఉండదు అనమాట. ఇన్పుట్స్ రెండు ఉన్నాయి, అవుట్పుట్ లో నీకు ఇష్టంగా లాగేస్తుంది అనమాట. Okay, you are able to follow me, right?
Yes.
What we will do, I will put the property file name column. మీకు తెలుస్తుంది ఎట్లా వస్తుంది అదని. Row number column, right? Row number column, file name column. ఓకే, ఇవి నేను ఎక్కడ యాడ్ చేయాలి? ఇక్కడ యాడ్ చేయాలి. రో నెంబర్ కాలం వచ్చేసి ఇంటీజర్, ఇది వచ్చేసి వేర్కేర్. మీకు నేను తెలుగులో మాట్లాడితే ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు కదండి?
కానీ ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనే చెప్పండి.
ఓకే ఫైన్, ఓకే ఫైన్ ఫైన్. అదే అందుకనే, ఎందుకంటే కొందరు ఏంటంటే they will feel what we say more understandable when I speak in Telugu. That's why I just wanted to ask you if you are okay. We'll proceed in Telugu during explanation. ఎక్కడ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు నేను తెలుగు చెప్తా, లేదంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనే మాట్లాడతా. ఫైన్,
ఓకే
ఓకే. సి చెప్పండి.
నాకు ఇంకా కొంచెం ప్రాక్టీస్ అవుతుంది కదా.
ఓకే ఫైన్. Yeah, I understood. I can understand. So, Deepthi, see, I just added two more columns here, file name column and row number column. The reason why I'm adding these two columns is at the end, you would be able to see how this funnel operation is working properly. That is the only reason here, okay?
Okay.
Where I'm mentioning it as 30 and row number column, I don't want to mention anything, okay? I just gave these options, and here also I will be adding the same options. Yeah, and row number column. Remember, the same data types should be used. Then only your funnel operation works, otherwise it won't do it properly. Fine?
Okay.
So remember the names of the files. Sequential file read 1, sequential file read 2. Remember the file names, okay? Now I am using first continuous funnel. Continuous funnel means how it operates. It doesn't follow any pattern. It just randomly picks the data coming within any of the input links and it just throws onto your output. That is how it works. If data type or file or the column name doesn't match, then you won't see here what we say, that columns being appeared. So make sure that both the input links has got the same column names. Now that is what your continuous funnel. I will just execute it and show the result how it works. Only one property is there, remember. Only one property, that is either it should be continuous funnel or sorted funnel or what is a sequence funnel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it. See, if you observe, first one is coming from first file, second one is coming from second file, third one is coming from first, once again second, first. If you observe, nothing has been there in any pattern.
Yeah.
And also from the second source, first row came first, and in the second source, third row came next one. It is not the second row number.
Okay.
First of all, you understood this row number column, right?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, but, you remember, right?
The output, why it's coming like that?
Why? Because we have used the continuous funnel. Continuous means randomly it will throw out.
Okay.
no proper what is a format would be there. Now what I am going to do, I am going to change this continuous funnel to sequence funnel.
Sort.
No, sort means you need to give a key. Then once we will see sequence, we will see that what is a sort. Okay. Now I have changed it to sequence. Sequence, how it works now? First it will read all the data from one particular input, and then it reads all the data from second file. You are able to follow, right?
Yes.
Funnel operation is equivalent to your union operator in your SQL.
Sure.
See? Oh, what happened? 1 second. This is because of it is running in 2-node configuration file. 1 second. I will just for our example I will be changing it to 1-node configuration file. And yeah, anyhow I am going to change it to 1-node configuration file. Before changing, see in this particular in this job properties window, there in the parameter section there is one more concept called add environment variable. Okay, what is this means? Okay, when you click on this one, you will get a pop-up. Okay, where you will see lot of environment variables shown here. By using these environment variables, you can actually set the environment in which your Datastage job is going to run. Now, I am going to set an environment where my job is going to run in single node mode, right? So, for that particular operation, what I need to do, apt underscore, 1 second. apt underscore config file is the option that I should use. Okay, and I would be setting the value. See, default value, I am instead of using default.apt, I will be using rom.apt. I have created one configuration file earlier which will be having a single node. I will show you that one. So once I set this particular value, this is the parameter that I have set. See, remember I have got this particular parameter from your add environment variable window. Once I click on this OK, see I will show you how this what we say configuration files look like. Sorry. See, I have already created a rom.apt file. I am just selecting this file. See, there is only one node defined inside it.
Okay.
Okay, so now my job is going to run on only one node. I'm just once again compiling it. Because of 2-node files, that is how your output got scrambled. So,
But we didn't mention 2-node file, 1-node file, right?
by default, it takes default.apt. Inside default.apt, I have used 2-node.
Okay.
You are able to get me, right? By default, it would take default.apt, okay, without any setting. Then it runs on 2-node. Why? Because I have explicitly converted the default.apt into 2-node. See, if you observe now, source 1, source 1, source 1, then source 2, source 2, source 2, source 2.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right?
What about the row number?
Sorry, what happened?
Row number.
What happened? Once again, you will see. What happened to row number column?
Same numbers are coming.
Same numbers are coming.
Before continuous funnel.
Source 1, 0, 1, 3. Here in source 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the problem here?
Okay.
No, there's no problem here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is what your how sequence file is going to work. It is going to read data from what we say. It is going to read data in a sequential format. It is going to read data first from the first file, and then it is going to read data from the second file. Earlier, how the data got scrambled is I actually ran it on a 2-node configuration file, and each node processed it differently. But by the time it collected, it haven't got in the the expected format. Okay, that is what it happened earlier. Now there is one more mode called sort funnel. From the name, what it is going to do? Tell me.
It is going to sort either in the ascending order or in the descending order.
Using what it is going to sort? Using a key. Okay, here when I want to select a key, it is showing all the column names. I want to select it on employee ID. Once I use this particular setting, it is going to generate, okay, it reads in whatever mode it reads, it doesn't bother. But at the end, I should be able to see all these employee IDs in a sequential form, in a, what is it, created in a proper way. See, 1000, 1000, 1002, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1004. Everything is sorted now in the output.
Yeah.
Okay, why? Because I have selected sort output mode and I have used employee ID as the key. So that is how I got 1000, 1000, 1002, 1002, 1000, 1004 and 1004.
Okay.
Fine. Now there is a concept of containers. Okay, there is a concept of shared container and local container. Okay, I will just create a funnel underscore example. I am just going to create a copy. Use this option to create a copy of the same job. Just right click, you select any job, right click and select on create copy. It is going to create a copy. See, copy of funnel example. Okay, what I am going to do, you understood the example, how these funnel modes are going to operate, right? You understood both copy and as well as funnel, right? Deepti?
Yeah.
Fine. Now I am going to teach you an important concept called containers, shared container and local container. Okay, from the name itself, it is very much clear that what is the meaning of shared container. Okay, I need to teach these general things, right? Before starting with the shared container and this particular what we say local container, I will show you one more concept called annotation. Annotation means, see, in real industry, okay, how can we identify people who have really worked or not is there, right? That is a simple, what we say, simple thing we will observe. Once a particular job is being developed, once a particular job is completely done, okay, if a person uses this particular annotation, you just drag drop here, okay, and try to enter some of the details like, okay, if something is being given in this format, then we will easily say that he is really having some experience in real industry. Why? Because these are certain what is the standards that people will follow in industry. Okay, while everything is being given, these are the things that people will follow. Double click this one, you will get in this way. You are able to understand what I am doing, right?
What is the purpose of annotation?
It is something like comments. In other programming languages, you call it as comments. Purpose of annotation is it keeps track of who has written this job. I am writing this job, right? So Ron is the developer here. This is the first version, 1.0. Okay, I have developed in the date 6/11/2011. Right? If a person uses some sort of annotation, we can directly say that he is having some real-time experience. Why? Because these are standards that would be followed in companies. If a person says that I am done with my job completion, if I say that I have already created a job, I have done very good job. If you say, and if you observe the job, and if there is no annotation, we can easily say that that guy haven't got any real-time experience.
Okay.
Okay, this is some of the things which team leads observes. Please make sure that once you enter into company, once you are going to complete a job and upload it into a control, what we say, version controlling tool, make sure that your job is having a annotation. Okay. And now coming to the concept of description annotation is also something like annotation only. Okay, but you can actually have more data to be written. Something like this job, this is a demo job written as part of training. You are able to follow me, right? I can write as many number of lines as required. That is your descriptor annotation, nothing more than that. Okay, here in the above annotation there is a limitation for space and all, but descriptor annotation you can actually write a bit more, nothing more than that.
Okay.
Okay, and coming to the concept of containers, link means nothing. See, whenever I'm doing something, I'm just dragging, right? I will be selecting this and I will be dragging it. I will be selecting this, I will be just dragging it. If you don't want to do that, okay, what you can do, you just select this link first, okay, and then come here, okay, and sorry, and just draw it. Are you able to follow me, right? The same link which I am directly drawing, you can also click on this and you can do it. It is not required anyway. You can directly select this one and you can directly drag the links. Anyway, and coming to the concept of containers. Okay, now let us say your job design is something like, okay, generally this is your job design. Let us say I will draw some more. Sorry. This is my job design, let us say. Okay, tomorrow if your manager come to your seat, Deepti, show me whatever you have written. If you show him like, sir, this is what I have written from left to right, if you drag in this way, okay, he feel like, okay, what this Deepti is doing, why this design is so awkward. But instead what you can do now, to make this thing look better, okay, let us say I have just used only 6 stages here, but in my application I have used nearly 14 stages continuously. Okay, so if you are my manager, let us say you came to my desk and saw my job design, how you feel like, why this guy is doing it such a way, or why this thing is looking so what we say, with all this stuff together, it doesn't look very good for the person who are looking here. So in order to make this thing look better, what I can do, I will select all these particular things. Okay, what are, sorry, you're able to follow me, right?
Yes.
I will select these things. I will go to edit. Okay, here there is a construct container option. I will click on local. Are you sure you want to construct a container from the selected stages? Yes. See how it became now. Okay, now when your what we say manager comes, you are able to show him just this design, right?
Yeah.
How it looks now, how it earlier looked. Earlier it looked very much confused. People can't understand your design. Now they will just, now I just placed all my entire logic into a just box. Okay. Now if your manager asks, Deepti, you have done very good. Now just show me what else you have put in the box. Double click on this thing, you will be able to see the container. See, observe this container input and container output. This acts as an interface to your external world. Okay, all the logic has been placed inside the container, that box. This is called as your local container. In order to give space constraint, in order to make your job look very good, okay, your local container is being used.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let us say whatever logic I have written, it can be used in some other jobs also. Let us say, you are able to understand, right?
Yes.
Now, whatever logic I have written, okay, whatever logic I have written and whatever I have placed inside that container, I feel like I can use it in some other jobs as well. Why? Because this logic is very much good, and I feel like that logic can be used in some other jobs also. what can I do? I will be creating a new container called shared container. Shared container is something similar to your parameter set. How you use the parameter set which you have used for one job? You just wrote down all the parameters for one job. You just created a parameter set out of it and used the parameter set in some other job, right?
Yes.
Similarly, here you can construct a shared container out of 4 or 5 stages, and you can use that 5 stages thing in some other job. See, I will be selecting all those things. I will be selecting. You are able to follow me, right? What I am teaching.
Yeah.
Now what I am going to do, I am going to select whatever logic you have written here. These particular complete stages I have selected, and I am going to construct a shared container. See, go to edit, go to construct container, go to shared. Once you click on this, it shows you a pop-up like, are you sure you want to construct a shared container out of it? Yes. Now, as this is a shared container, you will be storing it somewhere. Like if you remember, our parameter set also we stored somewhere.
Yeah.
Then only I was able to get that particular parameter set into some other job. Similarly, when I try to create a shared container, it asks me where you are trying to create the shared container. Now I am selecting shared container folder. Okay, and this shared container is ram underscore new shared container, right? Ram underscore new shared container inside the shared containers folder. I am clicking on save. Error name must okay. Underscores are not allowed inside these names. Okay, ram new shared container. I am just clicking on save. Done. See, my shared container has got prepared. See the picture how it looks like. How earlier it looked, how it looks, how it's looking now. Shared container is just a box. Where sorry, local container is just a some black and white box. Whereas shared container looks much colorful now. Okay, this shared container which I have created can be used in some other jobs also. See how I can use it. File, a new parallel job I am creating. Okay, I am using a data set. I am using one more data set. Okay, and I am using the data set as target. But I want to have everything implemented. The logic that I wanted to write here is there in my shared container. What I will do, I will go to the shared container folder. I'm just dragging and putting it here. Fine. You are able to follow me, right, Deepthi?
Yes.
See, I just created a shared container out of this job. Now, if I open it, see, I was able to see all the logic which I was able to create earlier in the earlier job. See,
Okay.
you are able to see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how actually you can actually copy all your logic into a shared container and you can use it. This is how your
We use local container and shared container.
the difference between local container and shared container is local container cannot be shared across the jobs. Local container just minimizes the space and it makes people view it in a more good way. Okay, if person looks into your job, he feels what he doesn't get confused by looking into the job. Why? Because it manages the space very well and it gives a good look and feel. Nothing more than that. If you create a local container and if you want to use the same container in some other job, it is not possible.
Okay.
Okay, only shared container can be used from job to job. Like it is equivalent to your parameter set, what shared container. Whereas local container cannot be used in some other jobs. Local container is something like you are packing everything into a box and putting there. Nothing more than that.
Okay.
You understood, right? What is the difference
Yes.
between local container and shared container?
In local container, it just minimizes the job.
Yeah, minimizes in the sense it just what we say manages the space very well. It just packs all the stages into a box.
Okay.
Fine. Next, what is the shared container?
Shared container means means it also minimizes, but we can see whenever we want, and we can use in another jobs also.
Yes, that is the main point. We can use that particular shared container in another jobs also.
Okay.
Fine. If somebody asks you, that is the main difference. If you want to use a logic developed in one job in some other job, the only way that you can do it using your shared container. Okay, you understood these concepts of container and shared container, right?
Yeah.
And you understood these concepts of funnel, right?
Yes.
All the three sorts of funnels: sequence funnel, sort funnel, and one more funnel, continuous, sequence, and
continuous
sort.
Funnel and sort.
Yeah. Continuous funnel, sequence funnel, and sort funnel. Okay. Okay. Now we are going ahead with, these are not that much important. Okay, but as just wanted to discuss these stages as well. Okay. What are those stages that I am going to discuss now? I will be explaining you before this. I would be explaining you some waste stages. Actually, those are not much important, but you should know. Okay. One second. Compare, difference, compress, expand, encode, decode. Okay. I will be showing you encode. Okay. Now, have you ever heard of the term encode?
I heard somewhere.
Okay.
But I didn't.
So what is the purpose of having this encode is, okay, I am giving a vague example, okay, just where this
Small
term
example so that I can.
huh?
Give me a small example so that I can.
That is what I am going to give a vague example. See, I am not going into Datastage specific. I will just give you an example where this encode term is frequently used. Let us say there is a military from India, okay, and the people are working. There is a fight going on with Pakistanis. Let us say in some border. Okay, now people has to transfer some important message from Hyderabad to people fighting in Kashmir.
Okay.
Okay, while sending that message, okay, if somebody else on the way takes that message and reads, then they will be able to understand that message, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what they will do, they will encode the message. Encode means, let us say, if they wanted to send a message saying that Ram is terrorist, okay, they will not send it in this way. What they will do, they will encode this message saying that AMR, okay, something like MER, SI, okay, TS, IR, okay, ORR, ET. Okay, they will send the message in this format instead. Okay, even though I sent it, and in the way somebody else has what we say got this message, and if they view, they will not be able to understand anything here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but at the end, what I will do, I will just make a call to the target people saying that, boss, whatever I'm going to send the encoded message, please reverse the data and read it. See, now you reverse MAR, that is RAM. SI, IS.
Yeah.
This thing you can again get back as terrorist. Got it?
Yes.
So this is what your encoding mechanism. They will actually change the original data into some other data which would be helpful according to your requirement. Now what is my requirement in this case? Nobody else should understand the data even though they get the message. Okay, and this is called as decoding mechanism. I just told them like, okay, you just reverse the data and you are able to decode the data. Okay, this is the general vague example like what is meant by encode and what is meant by decode. In many cinemas also they will be saying like encode the message. I just decoded the message. They will be using that what we say, the dialogue. Okay,
Yes.
now coming to in our data stage, encode is something like, now this particular data set is having data which is human readable format now.
Okay.
Okay, this particular data is being human readable format. Now I will use encode stage so that it becomes some junk data where human cannot read it. Even though if he reads it, he will not be able to understand it. So what I will do, I will just run this thing and I will show you how dataset source will be looking and how I will show, I will be showing how the dataset target would look. Remember, if you encode something, there is only one way that you can decode, by using your decode stage.
Okay.
Okay. If you just use encode and if you try to read the data, you will not get anything. So there should be a decoding mechanism to decode the message that you have encoded. So use the decode stage in accordance with your encode stage, so that then only you will be able to read the data properly. See, if you observe how much data is coming out of it, 21 records. Here in this data set, 21 records came, right? 21 rows.
Yes.
In the target, just 2 rows are there. So that means data has been encoded. It has been converted into some other format. Now see that source data, how this is looking. See, this is the source data. It is human readable format.
Yes.
Now here in data set, you can't even view the data. Generally when I right click here, this view data set should be enabled, right?
Yeah.
Now it is not being enabled also. The reason being, there's no point of enabling it. Now I will just put a peek and I will show it in the director how it looks like, the data. Okay. The same example, I just use I am just going to read this particular data set which I have created, right? In this particular example,
Yeah.
I have created the data set right here.
Mm-hmm.
The same data set I have put here and I am trying to read it. In between I unnecessarily placed a copy. Don't worry about that copy. I haven't placed any setting there. Okay.
Okay.
Now I have just compiled it. I am just going to run it. We will see in the director how the encoded data looks like. Deepthi,
Yes.
tomorrow we will take off. Okay. I will connect Tuesday morning my time.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, according to the plan, tomorrow also I need to connect because of some urgent work. Tomorrow I may not be able to connect. On Tuesday morning my time, I will connect back in the original timing. But from Tuesday onwards, please make sure, please, what you say, my time would be, what happened? Shit, date got changed. See, those are the problems I get using this particular VMware. From Tuesday onwards, our class timings would be 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
My time. My time 6 means what would be your time? Generally, I would be connecting 6:30, right? Every day morning. My time 6:30 I would be connecting. So from Tuesday onwards, I will connect at 6.
Means for a 7:30. That's okay.
For you, it would be 7:30, right? You are comfortable in the timing, right?
Yeah, sure.
Fine. Okay. So it's getting got it. No such file or directory. I think I am trying to read some other file. One second. Desktop target. Okay, I made a mistake here. Okay. Target input encoded. Yes. See, I am actually reading some other file.
Yes.
I have created some other file and I am reading some other file. So just throw in the table. What happens doing sessions on the fly? If I create something, the settings would remain as it is. So sometimes it creates the problem. But remember, if errors comes, how I am debugging also, you just make a note of. See, I just went to director. I was able to figure out, just read the message properly. Then 50% of the issue will be lost. See, it is very much clear. Like, see, no such file or directory. The above thing is waste actually. This thing you can't figure out anything, right? See, it showed something like open off C, this particular encoded underscore output.ds. What is this message? Red, blue, green. Who can understand this particular message? Nobody can understand red and all. But the last line, see, no such file or directory. From this, I was able to understand that there is some discrepancy between the file that I am trying to read and the file that's actually said there. You are able to follow me, right, Deepti?
Yes.
That is how you should debug. At the you even though you don't understand something, try to read it completely. At least you will get a small hint out of the debug message. So that is why if you don't understand also, don't worry, just try to read everything.
Okay.
This thing is compiling forever or what? See, are you able to get anything out of this message? This is encoded message. See,
Oh,
Deepti?
okay. Yeah.
Hello?
No.
Hello, Deepti?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you able to hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Deepti?
Yeah, I can able to hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Welcome to GoToMeeting, online meetings made easy. There are 1 other callers on the call.
Hello?
Ah, Deepti, I was able to hear you now. Okay, now you are able to figure out what is this thing data.
No.
So that is what your encoded data looks like. That is how your encoded data looks like. Now what I am going to do, I am going to decode it once again. For decoding also I should use same data set. I will just copy this name. Once again, if I make any mistake, it would be a waste of time. So now what I'm going to do, this particular it's already correct, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to decode it. I will show you what setting would be there inside the decode and encode. See, 21 rows again came back, right?
Yes.
From 2 rows, again we got 21 rows. Now even, why this view even haven't enabled now?
Oh.
Sometimes that's not because of data set. Sometimes what happens because of issues with the data stage also, the tool also, sometimes it gets confused. 1 second, what we will do, we will use that peak stage. This sound is too huge. I was not able to control the sound now. See, you are able to see all the values, right?
Yes.
So that is how
Yeah.
your encode and decode works, okay?
Okay.
And we will see what are the settings that would be there. Only one setting, command line. There is no other option also for you. You need to set only this option. Okay. If tomorrow, if in market any other decode and encode option comes, you need to use that particular thing. Today we are using only G and zip.
Okay.
Okay. In the encode also, you will be having only one option, G zip. Here in decode, you will be using G unzip in decode. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow, if something new comes into the market for encoding and decoding, you can use that particular command here.
Okay.
Coming to compress and decompress. Compress and expand. Just 1 minute. No, you can carry on. Food kada. Inko 1 hour worth minimum. Okay. మీరు కానీ చేసేయండి. Now coming to this what we say, encode and decode is fine. Now coming to this compress and uncompress, those are also same. Now from the meaning, what is the meaning of have compress?
Compress is like encode?
No, compress means, see, if you do if you have a video file, okay, and if your friend asks you to compress that file and give it to him, what you are going to do, you are going to use zip. 7-zip and all, yes, will be there, right? You just select this, select a file, and you will see something like what you will do. This is called your zipping. Zipping means compression, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is there in your data stage also, like how to zip and how to unzip. Now this data set input is there, right? You can have any sort of input. Now I'm using data set here, and just for example, I have put one more design here, such that people will be saying that only data set can be used for zipping. No, even sequential file also can be used for zipping. Okay, what the setting would be there here also, only one setting would be there.
But what is this copy of compressed data?
Where?
It's in second job.
No, I just named this is naming, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and remember one more thing. You asked what you say. I just want to remind you, in real world, when you enter a company saying that you have got 4 years or 5 years of experience, make sure that naming conventions should be followed. For compress, it should be CMPR underscore just what you are going to do. Something like compress sequential file. Sequential file name should be some sequential file name might be some business data. Put compress business data. Business dat. That's it. This is how your naming convention should be there, right?
Yeah.
In a real world, while you are trying to write the jobs, you just make sure that you are giving proper naming conventions also. Link name should be changed. It should not be in this way. Link input, link file, they will not accept it. You need to give proper naming conventions. Here for the stage, you need to give CMPR. CMPR denotes that it is a compression operation. Okay. For links also, you need to give link names. You are able to follow, right?
Yes.
Give the naming conventions, but whenever you enter into any project, they will be maintaining a file which gives you information about the naming conventions. Just go through that file and you accordingly name the things. And let us see what will be the settings here. See, only one setting again, like in decode and encode, how you have got the command, the same command again comes here. If you observe, there is two options for you. One is compress, another one is ggip. Compress means it will use Datastage provided compress, and ggip means it would use Unix command ggip. In Unix there is a command called ggip for compression, for compressing the data. Okay, that one would be used. If you use compress, it would use Datastage utility called compress. Okay. For compressing the data. And now when we execute, again the plain old scenario, when we encode something, we will not be able to see here in DS output, right? Similarly, the same thing here also, you will not be able to view anything. And if you want to view that thing back, you need to use your expand stage. Compress, expand works together, encode, decode works together.
Okay.
Oh, what is this? Compress example. Okay. Because of this repartitioning, it happened.
No set file.
Yeah. So when I tried to read this file, that file is not there. You remember where the target file is there? Target. Earlier we used that, right? 1 second. I think it should be there in the clipboard. Yeah, it's there. Okay. Yeah. I will use this file now. I will completely remove this thing. There's no need actually to show. Input encoded.ds columns.
Name, salary.
I will actually import that once again, that sequential definition. Where is the sequential file? Yeah. This is the file, right?
Yes.
Oh, I made a mistake actually. This is not a sequential file. This is a data set. I am trying to import data from a data set.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, by using sequential import operator. What I will do, I will go back to my encode decode example and you will use the encode examples data. Okay. Here what I will do in the columns section, I would, okay, the same columns are there. Employee ID,
EID.
I just unnecessarily, okay, anyway what I will do, I will load it. Encode. No, naming are different actually, so we need to
EID name cell.
yes, so naming conventions are different, so anyway we need to delete it. Now if you observe, see, I have used runtime column propagation. Okay, here the reason for using runtime column propagation is different. Why? Because see, I will show you this thing even in here also, in where we say in encode example also. See, I have used in the output, I have used this runtime column propagation. There is a reason for using this runtime column propagation, and please make sure that while you are using encode, decode or compress, expand, please make sure that you use this option of runtime column propagation. The reason being, okay, output columns are output column definition. In input we are getting these columns, but in the output we don't know how it encodes, right?
Okay.
In input we know that these are the column names, but in the output we don't know what column names it would generate after encoding.
Yeah.
Okay, so for an example I will just show what it generated. See, this is also encode example only. Input, these are the columns, okay, but in the output you see what columns it generated. See, do you know that these columns will be generated in the output? No. So how can you
columns?
Sorry,
employee ID, employee name, salary.
Done, gone. They are all gone. See, here it's with the employee ID, employee name, salary, but other things also came extra. You don't know whether these things are there with you or not. See, and the column names are also not there. You see, if you observe, everything got changed, this layout.
Okay.
This has not been typed by me. This is generated during runtime by encode stage.
Okay.
So you are not aware what are all the output columns that it would generate. So in that situations, it's better to go with runtime column propagation. So whatever it generates, it would automatically populated to the output, right? That is the benefit that you get of using this runtime column propagation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please remember that option. I just forgot to tell you that during this thing. Now compress example, here also if you observe, here also we don't know what would be the output columns when it compresses the data. So I have used this runtime column propagation option.
Okay.
You are able to understand, right?
It is compulsory?
Yeah, it is compulsory. Yeah, for encode, decode and for compress, uncompress, it is compulsory to use this option. Why? Because you are not sure what columns it is going to generate during the runtime.
Yeah.
It is better, right? If you use this particular thing, you can actually have confidence on what your job design you are going to do. So if whatever it generates, it will be moved to the output. The column names, no errors would be thrown. Now let us see if it throws any errors once again. No, now it worked fine. Okay. These 2 rows are again converted to only 2 rows. Why? Because it is a compressed stage. Now view link output is again disabled. Why? Because it is not in human readable format, and encode means some of the data would be what we say compressed. Sorry, compress means. Now what option do we have in compress? Only 2: compress or what?
Compress zip.
Yep. If something tomorrow comes new, then you can use that one. Now I am going to use it in combination with your expand stage. Here I should make sure that I am reading the same file once again. Oh, okay. What is the thing that I have used here in the output? You are able to follow me, right? What are all the settings that I am going to do? Here I am going to read the same file so that it again converts back into human readable format. That is what I am going to do here, right?
Yes.
Here also in expand also the settings are same command. For while compressing you are using compress. Here you are uncompressing it. Okay. There if you have used gzip, here you are using gzip once again, not g unzip. Remember. Okay. This is Unix command. Okay. This is Datastage's utility. Okay. Now what I am going to do? I am going to actually all the settings are properly done previously itself. I don't want to change it. Okay, one more setting, last setting, parameters.
Add.
What is happening?
Why it's not coming for sequential file?
There is some small setting mismatch. Again, I have to go back to the original file and need to get the format info. That is why I removed it. Okay. Now in a peak, it would directly send it to the output. And oh, what is this? Is this expand example? Yeah. What happened? Compress I have used. What is the data I am getting here? Here itself there is a problem. This is actually I am trying to read encoded data here. If you observe. 1 second, Aditi.
Okay.
నువ్వు కూడా తినేయి కానీ ఓకే 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 మళ్ళీ కానీ మళ్ళీ ఇంకోసారి తిందాం లేకపోతే ఓకే దీప్తి ఐ జస్ట్ actually I tried reading this encoded data, so that is the mistake that happened here. what I would do, which one I can take? You understood, right? What is the problem there?
Yeah.
I actually tried reading already encoded data. Instead of original data set, I actually read the encoded data set. That is why it actually compressed and uncompressed, and it showed me the proper result only, but it is encoded data. The reason being the source is encoded data. Okay. Now again, I will use a sequential file stage to what I will do. 1 second. Once again, I'm just setting the original file. Desktop source input.ts. This thing I have saved it in Encode, right? The table definition.
Yeah.
You can directly load it now. I think table definition Encode. Okay, EID. Yeah, I have saved it. I'm just compressing this thing. Let's just expand it. Okay. Now we got it, right? See?
Yeah.
That is how your compress and expand works. Okay. These are all actually not that much important, but it should be covered as part of training. Now coming to important stages like modify, pivot. Now, what is the purpose of having modify is something like, see, now you have to perform some sort of column renaming, okay, or some sort of null handling, okay, and if you want to change the data type of a particular column, okay, you can use this modify stage, okay. Now I will just show you what are all the input columns that are coming, input column definition that we are getting inside this sequential file, okay. If you see, we are getting employee ID as varchar, employee name as varchar, salary as integer, and payment data as date. Now let us, I will just show you the data also, okay, so you can figure out what I'm going to do now. See output input.csv.
see output and see here there is a null value here, right? In 1002 record, employee ID having 1002 as the value. If you observe, there is a null value here in employee name.
Okay.
Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to handle this null value. Like I will be saying that if wherever I get null value, I would be replacing it with a value called tilt. Tilt means this one. Okay.
Okay.
If I get null in any of the column, I would be replacing it with null. Not any of the column. Especially I am going to handle null in employee name column. That is what first I am going to do. Okay. The reason why I am saying this is in modify you don't find any properties. Okay. Based on the operations you have to write the code. And now what I am going to do, I am going to convert this employee ID to EID. I don't want this employee ID name. I just renaming the column from EMPID to EID. Okay. That is
to modify.
Yeah, in the modify. I am going to rename a column. I am going to handle the nulls. Okay. I am going to change the data type. Okay. Here you are able to see date in the date format, right? I will be changing it into some other format. I would be changing the data type of this particular payment date. Okay. Now for all those particular settings, I have what are all the settings that I have done in the modify stages. These are all the settings. Okay. I am going to keep employee name and salary as it is. There is an these are all the these are all the way that you can set these settings, which whatever I have explained now. There is some keywords called keep and drop. If you use keywords keep, that means you are saying to Datastage that you need to have the same you are holding that particular employee name and salary. Now in the input, what you are getting? In the input you are getting employee ID, employee name, salary and payment date. Now what I am trying to do, I am trying to hold these particular columns as it is, employee name and salary in the output. Employee name and salary, I want it as it is. So I have used this particular property of keep employee name comma salary. These two columns should be mapped as it is without any change. So I have used this setting of keep. Okay. If I don't want these two columns, I should use the keyword drop.
Okay.
Okay. Now explicitly I am saying that employee name and salary should be there in the output. And remember, these columns will not come like in other stages. There would be some mapping. If you just drag that mapping, you will be able to see all those columns in the output, right? In modify, this is the disadvantage. Okay. You need to type everything here.
Okay.
Okay. This EID, EMP name, salary, Julian date, you have to type manually. There is no other way. Or you can, if you have got column definition regarding that, you can save it and you can load it here. Only two ways are there, no mapping kind of stuff as you see in other stages. Okay. But the settings are something like in the stage you have got the setting like keep or drop. Keep means you are saying that I want to have EMP name and salary without any change at all. So this EMP name and salary directly without any problem, it would be moved into the output. But you have to type this EMP name and salary here explicitly. And now I want to change this EMP ID name to this particular EID. So for that I need to write a setting like, okay, EID int 16. So my output column, now our new output column name is EID and its data type is int 16. Okay. What is the source is EMP ID.
Okay.
Fine. Now EMP ID has been changed to EID. See in the columns in output, I have to type this EID again. It won't come automatically here. Remember that. Okay. And coming to the other change, what I have done, I have converted this Julian day into 32. This is an integer data type. I have created a new column called Julian day. Okay, the name of the column is Julian day, and the data type of this column is integer. Okay, int 32 I have given. And what I am trying to do, I have got a payment date column, right, which is of type date. Okay, I have got an input column like payment date here. See, payment date of type date. I am trying to convert it into integer. Okay, before converting, what I am trying to do, I am using this function Julian day from date. This is a function like keep and all, there are a lot of functions. One of the function is Julian day from date. If you use this function, yesterday I told you one example, right? What is this Julian day from date in SCD stage with one of the example, some date I have taken, I have minus something, remember? Similarly, we are getting Julian day from date. Today it would payment date is something like, let us say today's date, it would minus from the Julian date. The Julian date would be some 1880 something like that. Exactly, I don't remember the Julian date. It would just calculate the number of dates between the today's date and that particular past date, and it would give you the number of days, okay, in the integer format. And the name of the column is Julian day. In the output, see, you have to type that Julian day. And the last specification what I have mentioned, null handling. Okay, in employee name there would be some nulls, so I am handling the null using this particular keyword handle underscore null. Use this function, okay, handle underscore null, give the name as emp name, and what is the value that you want to replace the null value, okay, use this particular tilt.
Okay.
You are able to follow me, right? I have used this function saying that boss, in employee name column nulls are there. If null is, if you come across any null, replace that null value with a tilt. That is what I am saying.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Now let us see everything works fine or not. This is one of the important stage, and you will generally use this particular stage in real time. Okay. See, this null has been replaced with tilt.
Okay.
Okay, and you are getting output day value out of the date. Okay, this particular thing has been shown up as integer. These are the number of days, okay, the days gap between today's date and the previous date. Okay, you are getting these values, and observe this is not EMP-ID now, it is EID. You are able to follow me, right? What I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, remember this is important stage. Okay, mostly in real time you will be coming across only this particular thing, handling the null. Okay, all other functions you won't use, only this function you will use. Generally speaking, 99% you will come across only this function, handling the null. Okay, all the others just have the knowledge, but it would be this function will be generally used, handle null. And that is what about your modify stage. Okay, what are all the stages that I have taught so far, Deepthi? Now
Today, copy, sorry,
copy
and funnel,
okay,
and containers,
okay,
decode, compress, expand,
okay,
modify.
okay. Now I would explain one important thing. Don't worry about this pivot enterprise. This is not from this version. This is from 8.5 or 8.7. I don't remember. For my project purpose, I have done it and I have placed it. Okay. That stage itself will not be shown in any of these processing stages, but pivot is there in 8.0.1. Okay. Pivot enterprise is not there earlier. Now coming to this pivot stage. Okay. Now before explaining pivot, I will just run this thing and I will show you how the output will be. You only tell me what are all the changes are there in the input and output. You are able to follow me, right? What I am going to do. I will run the job. I will show you the source data. I will show you the output data. Just tell me what happened from input to output, how the data got changed. You just tell me that. Then we will explain. Then we will proceed with the explanation of pivot stage.
Okay.
Got stuck. 1 second. See, observe this source data very carefully, okay?
Okay.
Observe the column names also.
Last name. Okay. Okay.
So you are able to understand the source data, right? Now
110.
remember, once again I am going to ask you the next question, like what would happen to the target now.
Okay.
I am going to show you the target data now. What happened now? Tell me. Rep ID is there in the source, right?
Rep ID is there.
And last name is also there, right, in the source.
There. And here some January, February like that.
Yeah, January, February, March is there. But if you observe, January data came as one row, February data came as one row, March data came as one row. Earlier, how it used to be 100 Smith.
101 only we are having.
Yeah, 100 Smith, and these three values are shown in three different columns.
Yeah.
Now what we are doing, we are actually bringing that columns data into rows. First column moved into first row, second column moved into second row, third column moved into third row. You are able to follow me, right?
Yes.
This is called your pivot operation. Okay. Earlier it used to be 100 Smith 4 zeros 1 2 3 4 in one column, again 4 zeros 1456.8 and again 4 zeros 1578.0. Now what happened after pivot is being applied? 100 100 100 3 for single record in the source, 3 records came as output. Why 3 records came means you are trying to convert all the March, January, February sales data into one column.
Column. Okay.
Okay, so for one particular record in source, you got 3 records in the target. So as there are 2 columns in your source, 6 records got created in the target, right?
Yes.
You understood how it is going to turn the data, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For getting this output, there is no settings and all. The only care that you need to do is you need to define the this particular setting in the outputs tab. Output tab, columns tab. In the outputs page columns tab, you need to give that setting. See, there is a new column called derivation.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one which actually changed everything. The output that you are seeing, this is the one that is changed everything. Okay. Now see, I have given Jan sales, comma Feb sales, comma March sales. In the sales, I have created a new column called sales. In the derivation section, I am giving Jan sales, comma Feb sales, comma March sales. So what it does, in the sales column, you are going to get Jan sales, and in the next row, in the sales column, you are going to get Feb sales, and in the sales column, in the next row, you are going to get March sales. This is the setting which actually converted that source data into this format. If you observe in stage, you don't have any properties at all. In input, there is no properties at all. In output, there is no properties at all. The only change that came from any other stage to this stage is using this derivation. Right?
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This is what called as your pivot operation. There is no way that you can convert this data back again. That feature came only in latest version of 8.7. Now what I mean to say, this particular data is being converted in this format, right? Now you can't convert this data back into again original data.
Okay.
Why? Because there is no stage to do that, or there is no setting supported by the existing pivot stage to convert it back.
Okay.
Okay. So this particular setting or one more new stage has been introduced in 8.7 to do that. Okay.
Okay.
That is the latest version currently being tested in the market. Okay. You understood how the pivot is going to work, right?
Yeah.
Good. And one second. Now one more important stage, transfer. The moment when we come to transformer, we are done with our processing stages. One second. I need to teach you 3 more stages. What are all the 3 more stages are? Your difference stage, your compare stage, and finally your transformer stage. Where I am there? Where is this? So that is your pivot stage. You understood, right?
Yes.
Clear. Coming to, I will teach this transformer stage at the end. Why? Because this is very important stage. So we will speak about it at the end. Okay.
Okay.
At the end, in the sense, after 2 stages discussion. Now coming to this compare and difference. Okay. First we will see how difference works. Okay. We will see what is the after data and before data. This thing is like how we have seen yesterday. Okay, how we have seen the change capture stage. Okay, similarly it works, but the only difference is change capture generally is meant to use with change apply stage, whereas difference there is no any combinable or combination stages that's there. Okay, the only difference is that if once you see the output and if you ask me a question like what is the difference between change capture and the difference stage, the only difference that you can find out is, okay, everything is same, but change capture is having a combination, like it should be, it is meant to be used in combination with the change apply stage, whereas difference there is no restriction on it, you can use as you want it. Just give me a sec, actually finding some difficulty in. Okay. Okay, remember one difference. Why? Because I am going to explain you compare the next. Okay, and compare and difference there is a slight variation actually. Compare actually compares column wise comparison. Okay, and difference always does record by comparison. You understood, right? Column by and difference by. Sorry, column wise and what we say row by record wise. If there is employee table and employee one table, okay, in employee table let us say EID, ename, okay, sal is the columns. Okay, in employee one you are having again EID, comma, ename, comma, salary. In difference, in different stage you are going to compare record by record. Okay, you are going to compare record by record in the different stage, whereas in compare stage you are going to compare column by column.
Okay.
You are able to follow me? It is not going to compare the entire record, but it carries its description based on column by column.
Okay.
Okay, that is the difference. That is the only difference between your different stage and compare stage. But outputs how we are generating would be different. Remember yesterday the codes copy, insert, delete, edit in change capture. Okay, C means 0, I means some 1, D 2, something like that. Here in different stage those settings comes into picture. Yesterday whatever files I have used, I am using the same files. Okay, I will show you that files. We will put it C administrator desktop source after.csv. We will show it parallelly and we will differentiate now itself what would be the output, and then we will discuss source before.csv. Output, right? Source, huh?
Source.
Okay. Oh, okay. After.csv and before.csv, right?
Yes.
Okay. This thing is taking some time to drag even. Okay, now it's fine. Now, okay, there is some discrepancy between employee ID, EMP name. There are 4 columns here. There are just 3 columns. I think before.csv, before.csv, and here it's, see, it's small a. Okay. I was not able to find small a here.
Yeah.
Desktop source 1 is there. Any other? Yeah. So what I will use the files which I have used for change capture then. I have used the files for change capture. Yes. Now there is one more setting that I need to do. What is that setting? Not just changing the file names. There is one more setting that I need to do. If I change the file names, what would be that setting?
Yeah. Note configuration.
No. This particular file, I have copied this file name, but I also need these column definitions, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I would be before and after. I would save it as before and after. Table definitions before. Here in the columns, I would be deleting the existing columns. Fine.
Okay.
These are all the settings that I'm going to do. Okay. Now we will see what are all the properties that are there. Yesterday, if you observe in the change capture, what are all the properties that I have used? The same properties here. See, key. First, I need to mention key. There I have given the value as change key. Here I am giving it as key. There I have given it as values. There I used the kind term as change values. Here I am using it as difference values. Yesterday I explained you that explanation of explicit keys, explicit values. You remember?
Yeah.
Here all non-key columns are values. See, there is no much flexibility for you. Now all non-key columns are values means, that means whatever you are mentioning here, apart from that all the other columns are considered as values. That is what we mean to say. If I set it to true, no other values will be allowed to set here. Now as I have set it to false, that means I am saying that I would give what are all the value columns. You are able to follow me?
Yes.
The first property, what it is meaning, all non-key columns are values. That means we are saying that apart from whatever columns that I have mentioned in the key section, all the other columns are values. That is what I am saying. Okay, if I have set it to true, this particular value will not appear. Why? Because I am saying that all the other columns are values directly. Now as I have set it to false, that means I am saying that not all the columns are values. There are only some columns which I will be considering it as value, and these are the value columns names.
Okay.
Okay, if you want you can add some more columns also. Okay, now yesterday you are able to follow me, right? Or do you, okay, I will just show you. See, just change it to true. That means I am saying that apart from keys all are values. See, once I change it, see, values is gone. I am saying that all the key columns are values. Okay, now once again I will replace back. See, as I have set it to false, I was given a chance to select what are all the value columns. So I have given employee name.
Okay.
Okay, have I got employee ID and employee name in the input columns? First of all, EMP ID and EMP name, it's there, right? Okay, EMP ID and EMP name, yeah, it's there. Now I have mentioned that EMP ID and EMP name are the values. Now see, yesterday we are during the change capture also we have got the same settings, right? Drop output for copy, drop output for delete, drop output for edit. What does this mean? If there is any record which has been identified as copy, please drop it here itself. No need to bring it to the output. Okay.
Okay.
If I say drop output for delete equal to true, that means we are saying that if any record has been identified as a delete record, please don't move it to the target. Just drop it here itself. That is what we are saying. That means we don't want to do any deletes at the target end. That is what our intention is. Okay, if I move this particular record having delete operation to the target, that means we need to delete, right, in the target. If I'm saying drop it here itself, that means I don't want to delete it in the target. So that is why I'm saying I'm not interested with the delete operation. Drop whatever columns has been identified as delete.
Okay.
Fine. The same way for edit. If you identify any columns as edit, okay, drop it here itself. I don't want to move it to the output. That is what we are saying with false. Yes, sorry, if I set it to true. If I set it to true for insert, that means we are saying that if any column, if any record has been identified as an insert record, please don't move it to the target. Okay. And coming to the log statistics, I told you 10% is complete, 20% is complete, something like that. Now, this is very much important property in difference stage. By default, your difference stage expects your input data as well as your after data as well as your before data to be sorted. Okay, even though you haven't sorted, okay, let us say you haven't sorted the data and you have given the inputs. Now what you need to put this setting, tolerate unsorted inputs equal to false. Okay, if it is the setting, that means your job will abort.
Okay.
Okay, what you understood, just let me tell, please explain me.
Tolerate unsorted inputs.
Okay.
Okay.
Tolerate.
If the stage expects some input, means if it is going to sorted, means it you must keep it to true. If it is unsorted, means you must place it as false.
No. Yes, exactly. What we are going to do, if we feel like okay, there are the data that we are going to get as inputs are not sorted. okay, and we don't have time to sort it or we don't want to sort it, you can use this particular option as tolerate unsorted inputs equal to true. What it does, even though there are unsorted data within the inputs, it doesn't care, it will just do the difference operation and it will give you. Okay, if you have set it to false, it actually expects the data to be sorted. So what I'm going to do, as it is expecting the data to be sorted, okay, the advanced, sorry, in the partition tab, okay, I would select it as auto, and by default it performs all sort of sorting and all sort of what you say, the partitionings and all happens properly. You are able to understand the settings of this difference, right? Any doubt so far? Just ask me.
In difference, false, right? Yeah, if it's true.
This one?
Can you show me once again the properties?
This one?
Okay, I got it. See, except tolerate unsorted inputs, all are same as change capture.
Exactly, exactly. Everything is same as change capture. I know that at the end you are going to ask me a question like, then what is the difference between change capture and difference? That is why I started with the difference, saying that there is no exact difference. So change capture is something like it has got a combination to work with. Like change apply stage should be used in order to get that target requirement. Now, but in difference, there's no any what is a combining sorry, I'm not able to get the word, combining stage. Okay, there is no coupling stage with the difference, so you can use difference stage comfortably without having to worry about your change capture. The only difference which I have got, according to what we say some research, the only difference is even the same output you will get with change capture and difference. Even change capture works on record by record comparison only. But the only difference is change capture is meant to be used with change apply, whereas difference no need to use with any other stage. You can comfortably use it. Why? Because when you see output, there won't be any difference. Yesterday, whatever output you have seen, the same output would be there. The only extra property that came is okay, the data, even though if it is not sorted, it was able to tolerate it. Nothing more than that. If you were able to complete this big classes content stuff earlier, right? Now today, if I was able to cover some what we say 4 hours, you would be reaching 30 hours. Okay, so we would see what are all the things that we have missed from the big classes content. I think after this processing stages, they are expecting me to teach you some administrator settings and all. I think and sequencer stages. These two, if I was able to cover within some 4 to 5 hours, okay, and we can spend some extra hours on some other what we say new stuff which you may come across during your what we say project activity. How many years, by the way, you are going to put your experience as in US?
4 to 5.
Okay, if you are going to use 4 to 5, at least they will expect you to have a minimal knowledge, not you, they won't expect you to be an expert. Why? Because people who are expert in parallel stages, they are not, generally they will not be much experts in the previous versions. So at least they will expect minimal knowledge regarding some of the stages in the server jobs. So I would be explaining you some of the server jobs that are shown that are there. Okay, if you are able to complete within what we say prescribed duration. Or if server jobs, if you are going to take time, we would cover this data quality palette. Okay.
Okay.
These are actually meant for, if you remember in our earlier days during our initial classes, I told you like in the data warehousing life cycle, the first step is data profiling, and the second step is data quality, and the third step is ETL activity, and the fourth step is metadata management. In the second step, which is data quality, we will be using a quality stage tool. I told you that, right? That quality stage tool is nothing but this one. Okay, I would give you all the theoretical info if we have got some time, but make sure that in the next class you just review the content up to processing stages which has been mentioned in the big classes people content, and let me know if I have missed anything so that I will cover it in the next class.
Okay.
Now I will show you the difference stage output. Okay, now let me know how it is different from your yesterday's data change capture. See, this is because of unsorted data. Don't worry, these zeros and all I gave that option, right? So now let me know CID. C means here again 0, 0, 1 means insert, D means okay. First we will see. First we will identify this. Haven't I opened the stage earlier?
Change capture?
No. Before .txt and after .txt I need to open, right? Where? So
Yeah, I think you.
files are again wrong, Deepthi. See output after .txt. The combine the file that is expected is before .txt. That is how the result gets what you say wrong result. The reason being I am using wrong files here. During sessions, somehow people will be asking some questions and I would be changing the files which they are expecting, and I would be again forgetting to remove it. I mean to say to move it back, and that happens in this way. This is after .txt, right? Yes. Before .txt, okay. Okay, and we will see whether employee ID, employee name, salary, department number. Employee ID, employee name, salary, department number. Yeah, everything is matching now. Now remember, difference stage intention is not like change capture. Change capture intention is something like your final intention is to convert your before.txt file into after.txt file, okay, in change capture. Whereas difference stage, it doesn't have any intention to convert before.txt to after.txt, and it will not send any settings that are specific to it, okay. It just gives you differences between the after.txt files records and before.txt files records, okay. Just it gives you the difference based on the record by record comparison. These are the sources that we read. Let us say, what would be the difference for the first one? 1000 ABC, 10,010. It is identified as, what is it identified as? Deepthi?
Both are same, right?
Copy. Okay?
Copy, yeah.
Yeah, for 1001?
Update.
1001, it's before that
delete.
it's there in, yeah, delete, exactly. And for the 1002?
2 and 3, I think.
1002 it's
copy.
there. 1002
Copy.
delete, 30,040. It's a copy.
Copy.
And 1003?
Update. Edit.
MNO, both are having the same values, so 20,000, and it should be edit, right?
Yeah.
And what about 1004 and 1005?
It is going to be delete.
Inserts, right? It is coming in after .txt.
Okay, okay.
1004 and 1005 should be inserts. So now we will see the data. Sometimes if zeros comes, that's not because of the data, but yeah, it came. It came here, once again it came. What I will do, I will set this because of node only. Why? Because some data won't move into one node and another data, that is the, let's see. One second. Employee ID. So I would be using hash partition technique on employee ID, and I would be sorting the data also. You are able to follow my settings, right?
Yes.
On both the input links, I am using hash partitioning on employee ID column, and I am sorting it. That is what I am doing it. I will perform unique sort. My mouse got stuck, so okay, I have set this setting on employee ID, and I have set one more property, like I am going to do the, what we say, this particular one node configuration, and I am going to compile it. Why these zeros are coming? 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003. 1000, 1001. First of all, let us see. 1001, how we have expected it as delete, right?
Delete.
And now C means copy. 1000 has been identified. Some different codes are there for this thing, I think. Okay, here codes are different actually, default codes. Whereas in change capture our codes are CIDE. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
Here I will use the same code. Once again. 0. Insert means 1. Delete means 2. Edit means 3. Okay. C I D E. The codes are different earlier. Now why we are getting zeros? We will see that one also. Why we are getting zeros? Okay. Tolerate unsorted inputs. Okay. Okay. Tolerate unsorted inputs equal to false. Okay. Key employee ID in the input section. I have used hash partitioning. Anyway, I am running it on single node, so I don't require the partitioning also. Okay. I will use only auto. Use only auto. Okay. And just for my satisfaction, I will be using one sort stage also. You are able to understand what I am doing, right? You are able to follow me, right? Dipti, what I am doing. You are able to.
Why are you in?
No, somehow I am getting in the output zeros, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what is the exact reason. I haven't got these zeros earlier. I just wanted to see why these zeros are coming. So I took my first step as something like if there might be any problem with the node configuration. So I just moved it to single node configuration. Then I observed that the values that we are getting in the output code is not what we are expecting. The codes are different. So I have changed the codes according to what we expect. And then what I am going to do, I wanted to check whether sort is being performed properly or not. So I have used this setting. Okay, I have explicitly used the sort operator to sort the data. Now in the inputs, I will see whether columns are being, yeah, it's there. So here, just to see partitioning auto columns, the output. Okay. So whatever we can do, I have done here. Okay. Now I got the answer. 1 second. DS link 3 is your before. DS link 7. Where is DS link 7? This is DS link 3. Okay, DS link 6. DS link 6 is DS link 6 is before. DS link 6 is before. Yeah, it's there as before only. And DS link 7 as after. Then how come we are getting these zeros once again? This is becoming mysterious now for me. Just we will see one more time. If it is not going to work now, okay, 1 second. What is this code? See, I means insert, right?
Yeah, I mean.
1 means insert. 1 means insert. C has been identified. Yeah, C has been identified as copy only. 1000 is there, so it's copy. 1001 is delete, right? CID.
Yeah.
That means it came as correct only. Coming to 1002, 1002 again it is a copy. Okay.
Okay.
And coming to 1003, it is again shown up. 1003 is a edit, right?
Edit, but it's saying
EMPID, it should show as 1003 as edit, but it's showing a bit as copy. Why? Because we have used value as only emp name. Okay, so emp names are same here for these two.
okay.
You are able to remember, right?
Yeah.
We haven't.
If employee name.
Yeah,
But
if employee name is same, salary, department number, we haven't mentioned them as value columns, right?
But mention key value as employee ID.
So employee ID are same, 1003 and 1003, and then it looks for value columns to see if there are any differences. But here in the value column also both are having same value, so it has been identified as copied. So far it's well and good. How come only for inserts? Why am I not getting the what we say?
Values.
Yeah, values. Why come? How come it got disappeared? Oh, what I will do? Only for inserts I am not getting values. 1004 and 1005. Why I am not getting? Just I will just interchange once again the what we say source file and this thing. Okay.
Okay.
And we will see if I'm not going to get right away that answer. Okay, we will stop the class for today, and in the next session I will be explaining you what has happened today, so that we are not able to see the inserts. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to waste your time. So on the next session we will connect, and the remaining stages that we will be discussing is, if today we are not able to figure out why this 0 is coming in the output. Okay, I will be once again telling you the difference, and what is the other one? Compare and transform from the processing stages end. Okay. If I teach these three today itself, let us consider what are the other stages that I am missing in the processing stages. Can you just figure out right away by the time I fix this issue?
External filter?
External filter, I told you, right, yesterday, that we will be giving Unix commands, that grep command.
FTP.
Which one?
FTP.
FTP is there?
FTP generic.
Okay, okay. FTP generic. Tell me other stages as well.
No, that's it.
That's it. And FTP cannot be shown practically. The reason being, we require to have a server. Why? Because if you observe, FTP is nothing but your file transfer protocol. Okay. File transfer protocol means, actually if you want to copy, let us say there is a server. Okay, let us say there is a server in your house. Okay, I am sitting in India and you are sitting in US. Now in your server there is a file in a particular folder. Now I can configure your server's IP, that means your host details, okay, your connecting user ID password, okay, and I can give the complete path, which file I need to read. Once I give all these settings, okay, once I run the stage, my FTP stage will be in a position to connect to your server in your house in US, okay, and it connects into your folder and it picks the file and it transfers to my local desktop wherever the target that I'm going to put. You are able to understand, right, how it functions. I will show you all the properties, don't worry. Okay, just from the theoretical end, you just understand what is the purpose of having FTP. Okay, you are able to get how it works.
Can you repeat once again?
No problem. See, FTP means file transfer protocol. Okay, this is a protocol.
Okay.
Protocol means set of rules that has to be followed between two persons or two communicating agents. Now, my requirement, I am saying that, okay, I need a file that's there in your server. Let us say the server is located in US. Okay, that particular server is located in US. How can I, how can I recognize a particular machine on network? Using what I will be able to identify a machine on network? Using IP, right? IP of a machine can be used to identify a machine in a network. IP or host name, we call it as IP, or if you use naming convention for the IPs, you can call it as a host name and all. So by using host name and user ID and password, we can connect to any machine in this network. Okay, so using those two settings, and then what I need to do once I connect to the server, what I need to do, I need to read a file located in a folder. So I will give the complete path. Like, see, this is the path I have used for reading a file in a output folder. See, output is the output folder. Inside that I have got a before.txt file. Something like that. I will be giving a complete path info of what I need to read. Okay, first I will connect to the server using your IP or host name and user ID password, and then I will use complete path of the folder structure where and that folder structure will be having a file which I require. Once I give that complete path, I would be able to read that file located in a remote server into my local machine. That is the use of your FTP stage. Okay. This will be generally used in the sourcing, and if you read something and you have done some manipulations and now again you need to put back into the same server once again that file, again you need to use the FTP stage and it connects to the remote server, and you can put the changed file into one more new folder, or you can replace the existing file. You are able to follow me, right? Clear?
Yes.
I will show you the properties again. Just remember.
Okay. Yeah,
You will see why these inserts are coming as 0. I will figure out. Generally, it shouldn't happen. If it happens, then my doubt is if everything is coming as correct, only inserts are not coming. I will just figure out what is the reason behind it. For output column emp ID. What I have done now in this particular thing, you observe, I just interchanged the what we say after and before links. Earlier this one used to be after and this one used to be before earlier. Now I just interchanged this one. Now whatever the name having before is considered as after, and after being considered as before.
Okay.
Now in this before.txt, these two will be identified as deletes, right?
Yeah.
1004 and 1005 will be considered as deletes. Why? Because why? Because this is before.txt now. I interchanged the things. So these two are identified as deletes here. Properly it came, right? And 1003 is a copy, 1002 also copy. MNO and DEF. Why? Because in before.txt and after.txt 1002 is there. And now what is the insert that came in what is the copy that came 1000 ABC? This is the copy. Okay, in the this is the before.txt and this is the after.txt. Remember, before.txt, this is the file name, right? This now is considered as after.txt. Why? Because I changed it.
Okay.
Which one is being considered as insert here? 1000 came, 1002 came. Okay, 1001 is the insert here. Again,
1001.
insert is being not shown here.
Yeah, there is a
Why?
problem with insert.
Yeah, I don't think it is because of some mismatch what I have done. I think there is some problem with this particular operator itself because of my VMware. Generally, if anything wrong comes, all the others also should be shown wrong only. Only inserts are missing. This 1001 PQR 25,000 and 20 should be shown there, but it's not working. So what I would do, I will just run this particular job in other VMware, and if the same problem comes, okay, then there should be something else to be done. If I don't get the same problem, then there is a problem with this VMware. So everything is working fine, but only inserts are not being shown. I will just check once again any setting I have done for drop output for insert. No, I haven't done any setting.
Yeah.
So it is some problem with the VMware only. What I will do, I will just run this thing in some other VMware, and if I get the same error, then I will let you know. If I don't get the same error there, if I get proper output, then there is a problem with the VMware, not with this coding. Okay. But anyhow, you understood the different stage, right? If let us say you have got the output here properly, that insert, then do you find any difference between change capture and this particular different stage?
No.
No, everything is same. So that is why
Main change capture and difference.
Change capture and difference. The main difference is it gives you an addition option of to sustain the unsorted values. That's it. But in the output wise, if you see, you don't see much difference there. And one more difference that you can say is change capture is intended to use in what we say. Change capture is intended to use along with change apply. Whereas different stage is not it doesn't have any combinable stages. And one more difference is this can sustain unsorted values, whereas change capture you need to sort it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I think we can spend day after tomorrow.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, my Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Okay, if I find but the thing is, every day if I connect at 6 till 7:30 means 1.5 hour. That means by 4 days only we are going to get till Friday, my Friday, right? So it would be something like only 6 hours. That means 35 hours would be done, and 5 hours can you sit once again on Saturday, Sunday for 2.5 hour, not for 4 hours like today and yesterday how you have helped us. Can you sit just for 2.5 hours so that I will cover the extra topics?
Okay.
Next Saturday, Sunday, no need to sit for 4 hours. Just 2.5 hour is sufficient. Okay, we will be able to cover that extra topics. Okay, even though if it crosses 40 hours also, I don't worry. I will be teaching you some extra concepts if you are able to sit on Saturday, Sunday.
Sure.
What I mean to say, Tuesday if I connect and if I explain you till Friday, if I were not able to cover all the concepts within 40 hours, and if exactly takes 40 hours also, I will tell you some more extra concepts out of that 40 hours also, if you are able to sit on Saturday, Sunday for some 1 hour or 2 hours extra.
Okay.
Okay. So far, from our discussion, you don't have any doubts, right?
Yeah.
Clear? Other than this different stage, why it's getting 0, I will let you know on Tuesday why it's getting to 0. I feel like 99% that's a problem with VMware. Why? Because everything is coming correct other than the inserts. So I will find out and I will let you know. Apart from that, today on all the stages and all the new concepts that we discussed, like parameter set, like shared container, okay, like local container, have you got any doubts? Any doubts? Let me know right away.
No.
On all the concepts that we discussed today. No?
No. I want to see one thing. Can you send the recordings of yesterday's and today's?
Yeah. Both I will send right away. I will just export it to File Factory and I will send the link to you. Just give me your what we say email ID. Today, actually afternoon, I asked Basava to send me your email ID. He said today it was an off for them, right? Sunday. So he said he don't have system as well as Magic Jack also to speak with you. So he sent a message to what is the head of the big classes, and I think that lady has answered. Yeah, that lady has actually called you. So today you don't have any contacts to give me your email ID. So can you give me your email ID so that I will send you the things?
Okay, Deepthi VISH DEEPTHI
DEE
PTHI
PTHI
VISH
VISH.
@gmail.com. Yeah.
deepthivish@gmail.com, right? Okay. Okay, Deepthi. I would send it after the session right away. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Deepthi. We will connect back on
Okay.
Tuesday, my morning at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
My 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay?
7:30.
Okay, 7:30. According to your daylight savings and all, you just adjust into your timings. My 6 o'clock, I would be connecting on Tuesday morning. Fine?
Okay.
Okay, Deepthi. I will be sending your recordings also right away.
Okay.
Okay? Sure. Thanks then. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.